we got a study out called Building a Better America, One Wealth Quintile at a Time. It's from Dan Ariely of Duke University and Michael Norton of Harvard Business School. And what they did was they asked Americans, what percentage of the wealth in this country do you think is controlled by the top 20%? And then they asked them, what percentage of the wealth do you think should be controlled by the top 20%? Those are very interesting questions and very interesting answers, and also the reality is also interesting. So now, when asked, hey, what percentage of the wealth do you think the top 20% actually control? The American people guess about 59%. Now, that's a big number, but when they asked them, this is interesting. All this, this country that believes in, hey, American spirit, who cares? The rich to rise to the top. We don't need no stinking redistribution of wealth, etc. Now, that's what the conservatives would have us believe. We're a very center-right country, individualistic, don't believe in income equality overall. That's what Fox News tells me every day. How much should the top 20% have of the country as a percentage of wealth? The American people, on average, including Republicans, all different demographic groups were polled here. And it was a large sample size, over 5,000. In a poll that's a very, very large number, representative of the country. What percentage of the wealth should the top 20% control? 32%. So, apparently, the American people think that the top 20% should have about half of the percentage of income they think that they actually have, right? So they think that there should be massive redistribution of wealth. So the top 20% don't have anywhere near the amount that they have. Now, if you've noticed, I haven't told you what the real number is yet. I've told you what they think it should be and what they think it is. Anybody want to guess along with me? What percentage of the wealth does the top 20% in this country actually control? 84%. So that you thought it was a high number with 59%. That's what Americans thought, right? No, 84%. So apparently the American people want massive, colossal redistribution of wealth. So what Fox News tells you about, center right, no way, redistribution of wealth is Marxist, etc. Total and utter nonsense. Does not jive with what the American people think at all. Okay. And, I think that I looked at the way that they did this poll. I think it's an excellent poll. And so I would welcome anyone to try to duplicate it. My guess is you're going to find very, very similar answers. Okay, now, what do I think? I actually think 32% is too low. The funny thing is, I'm to the right of the country. Now, I've told you this before. In reality, I'm a moderate, right? And in reality, I'm more conservative sometimes than the average American in this country on certain issues. Now, this Washington, D.C., the media and the politicians have become so insane that they consider me way left, right? So far to the left of Obama, they don't know how to track it, right? But the reality is I'm actually a little to the right of the country. I think 32% is a very low number for the top 20%. Obviously, wealth is going to be concentrated at the upper brackets. I get that. That's part of capitalism. In order to stop that, you'd have to have real significant redistribution of wealth and incredibly high taxes. Sweden, which actually is socialist, and socialist is such a weird, funny word, because the question is, what percentage of the economy should the government control? What sectors should they be in? What sectors should they not be in? Those are all open questions. So calling any country socialist is a little weird, right? And certainly inexact. But that being said, Sweden controls a much larger sector of their economy with their government. Their government is involved in more sectors, for example, healthcare, right? And here, of course, our right wing says, Sweden, socialist, disaster. Even in Sweden, the top 20% only control 36% of the wealth. So that's still higher than what the average American thinks is ideal. Now, I don't want to go all the way to Sweden. I'm not that far left. I'm just not. And there's good arguments to be made for it, and I'd love to have those arguments on the show. But so I guess I want it to be higher than 36%. But when they tell you we're a center-right country, or when they talk about Marxists or this or that, and Obama wants to redistribute wealth, well, actually, if Americans understood what that meant, and knew the numbers behind it, apparently they want to redistribute wealth 1,000,000 times more than Obama does. So that's the reality in the country. Don't believe the hype about what the right-wingers tell you.